So a big part of my training for the 66-inch hurdle jump was becoming as elastic as humanly possible. Over the last 30 days, I took my spring, my elasticity to a whole nother level, even higher than it was in my prime. And it paid off for my vertical and for my speed. I think my speed is especially at an all-time high because of how elastic and springy my lower leg is. The fascia of the feet and the Achilles primarily is where a lot of that elastic energy is coming from. So when you get those areas really springy, you kind of stop looking like a human and you start looking more like a gazelle or like a kangaroo, and the ground starts to look like a trampoline. So how did I do it? Well, a combination of our Fat Don't Fly nutrition protocol, got nice and lean because you can't have any excess body mass if you're trying to take your spring to the next level. And then I did vert code phase 4, which is our elasticity phase. That's where we really lock in on plyometrics and we move strength to more of a maintenance phase. And our primary goal is that elasticity. So I did phase 4. I also did a little bit more frequent exposure of plyometrics than even what I prescribe in the vert code phase 4. But I did 3 days where we work up to pretty high intensity plyos. And then I did my other 3 days of really low level plyometric contacts. So little baby bounds and multi-directional barefoot movement. And I just did a lot of reps, but very low intensity. But most importantly, you're exposing your muscles and tendons to this frequent stimulus, and your body is going to adapt when you give it that frequent stimulus. Think about kangaroos. They're not out there tearing their Achilles tendon. They have these springy Achilles tendons. They probably get thousands of ground contacts per day, and they don't have Achilles tendinopathy, and they don't tear their Achilles. Yet as humans, we're like afraid to jump frequently. And so people go out and they do plyos 1 day a week. That might be the worst thing you can do because you're exposing your body to these high forces, but you haven't exposed your body to that stimuli frequently enough. And so you haven't made elasticity adaptations, yet you throw yourself in the fire with 1 session per week. So my advice is maybe to cut back on that session and do a little bit less, but do it more frequently and try to aim for some form of plyometrics at least 3 days a week, and then gradually go up to the point where even if it's not a plyo day, at the end of your warm-up, you're adding some low-level bouncy movements. Maybe it's jump rope or anything that's low intensity and a little bit higher rep. That's gonna go a long way when it comes to building that elasticity and turning the floor into a trampoline.